So I managed to build a computer that's an absolute beast for under $250. Let's check out how it performs in 2019. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Check It Out video. Today, as I promised last video, if you haven't seen the last video, go and check it out. It was the one uploaded before this. This is the second computer that I was talking about in the previous video that features an i7-3820 and 16 gigabytes of RAM, a saber-tooth motherboard, blah, you know, whatever I said last video. Basically, the rundown is I built this for $250 in total. It's an absolute beast. I slightly overpaid a bit for the GTX 960, but we'll get to that. If you guys aren't following me on Twitter, go and follow me. The tag is right here, you know, at TechItOut5, go follow me, go check me out, go say hello, how are you, alright? Not bad, good size. But with that said, enough fucking around, let's get into the specs. So, for $250, I built a computer featuring an i7-3820, and an X79 saber-tooth motherboard, a Hyper 212 Evo aftermarket cooler, had 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM at 1600 megahertz, also had a GTX 960 2GB ASUS Strix edition, came with a 1TB hard drive, came with a 625 watt power supply that was from Cooler Master. It's called the Cooler Master Extreme, never heard of it in my life, and it came in a really nice NZXT black case with 3 case fans. I actually noticed that the case fans were like a wireless case fan. There is no cords at all. They plug directly into the case, and there's a little adapter that connects into the fans and makes them wireless. I thought that was super cool. I've never seen that in a case before, so good job, NZXT. But basically, the pricing will all be on the screen here. I know off the top of my head, I paid $50 for the 16 gigabytes of DDR3, and I paid $100 for the GTX 960 2GB. The reason why I overpaid so much is because the market was dead. There was nothing. There was like R9 270s going for $150. I couldn't even talk them down. There was GTX 770s going for $150. And then I saw the GTX 960 2GB ASUS Strix edition pop up for he had it for $150. I said, I'll take it for $100 today if I can come pick it up. The reason why I paid $100 is I was already making money on this computer regardless because of how cheap I got the system. But I didn't mind paying the $80 to $100. That's generally what the 960s go for. You can get them a bit cheaper. Some people sell them for $60, but it was the Strix edition. So I just bit the bullet, got it, and I'm pretty happy with the system overall. It's actually really, really impressive. My cat's meowing at me. So the only overclocking that we're doing is we're doing the RAM that's been overclocked to 1600 megahertz. It was originally 133, whatever, 1330, you know, 1333, whatever. The CPU has no overclock whatsoever because not a lot of people overclock that are, you know, entry-level gamers or new people to PC. People might get really nervous with overclocking. So we're just going to leave it at raw performance at the 3.4 gigahertz, I think it is. Let me Google this. Sorry, 3.6 gigahertz. What, cat? What? How did you get locked in here? Yeah, alright. You're a black cat in a dark hallway. Where was I? Oh, yes. No overclocking done. That's just how it is. If you guys want to see overclocking done on this board or with this CPU, let me know, and I'm happy to do a video on it if it's not sold by then. But yeah, with that said, let's move on. So, before we actually get into the benchmarks, of course I'm going to be benchmarking Counter-Strike, Overwatch, and Fortnite. That's just the games I do. But I do want to get recommendations from you guys saying what games would you like me to actually benchmark. I do own like Rainbow Six Siege, and I do own Apex Legends and, you know, all those other games. Just let me know and I'll download them. I'm hopefully have them ready for the next benchmark video that I do. Just let me know in the comments below. That's all you gotta do. But yeah, with that said, let's get on with the benchmarks, temperatures, yada yada. You know the goods, I'm supplying the goods, and we're out. See you later. Oh yeah, I also got a really nice like light so the camera doesn't look shitty. Right there, look at that. I thought it was pretty fancy. 20 bucks. Alrighty guys, so just showing you the temperatures. The motherboard, that's not a temperature. The motherboard hit a max of 43 degrees. The i7-3820 overall hit about 58 degrees. That was the maximum, and that was under gaming load, which is pretty impressive under the Hyper 212 Evo cooler. That's not too bad at all. Hard drive's 30 degrees, which is normal, and the GTX 960 was at 66 degrees, and it was actually extremely quiet. I don't think the fans actually went higher than 33%, which is really, really impressive. So, yeah, so far so good. Let's move on. Alrighty guys, so there you have it. The i7-3820 and the GTX 960 are absolute beast, especially for esports games in 1080p. Most games being played at max settings, high settings, and even sometimes the settings are at epic. I no doubt that this will play other games perfectly well in high settings as well. You might even be able to dip into 1440p with a better graphics card. Would probably recommend a GTX 1070, but this i7-3820 can also be changed out for a 4th gen i7-4930K, which is an absolute beast of a system because this X79 Sabertooth motherboard actually supports 3rd and 4th gen. And I think it also supports Xeon CPUs as well, which is awesome. So there's a little bit of upgradability and, you know, being able to change it around as well, but definitely could bump up the numbers in frames, especially with a better graphics card. 16 gigabytes of RAM, it's pretty much all you want really. You could probably get a higher speed DDR3 RAM. You don't really want to be going 32 gigs of RAM, doesn't really help with gaming. 16 gigabytes is just the perfect number. But honestly, if you can pick up these type of components for as much as I did, would be in the total of $250, you're pretty much laughing, because this is a very cheap system for amazing performance. It was the same as the previous video I did with the i7-3770, and these things just absolutely power through even the games in 2019, or the games being played in 2019. So honestly, if you can find these for cheap, pick it up, it's worth it. And even when you do want to upgrade, you can probably still sell it for a bit of profit, or even make back the money that you spent on buying all these components, because they are still a fairly good platform and they are still going for a fair amount of money as well. So with that said guys, thank you all for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you guys want to see more, let me know in the comments below. Also click that like button, as it always helps the channel, and subscribe if you guys are new here. We're nearly at 150 subscribers, which is pretty dope. I wish this bird would shut up. There's just one bird every single time I record, decides to go off its nut. But anyways, subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you in the next Take It Out video. I'm gonna go, and yeah, see you in the next one guys. Catch you later.